What's good? What's good, everyone? Oh, so I recorded this video and I found out the audio was bad, and I had to re-record. Hopefully, the audio is fine right now. So let me not waste your time. So what I'm going to cover is basically prediction results for this particular card. I'm going to go through every single fight on the card, and give you my brief thoughts, and then maybe preview the potential fight between Carlos Ulberg and Magomed Ankalaev, because I genuinely don't think Alex Pereira is going to win that fight. And yeah, obviously give you prediction results if I haven't said that already. So right now I'm on the video, the community section of the channel. A lot of people always ask me how they can participate in prediction results, or rather in picking picks and predictions and everything like that. So if you go up here, as you can see here, it's video, um, it's shorts, it's lives, it's posts. So you just come to posts and then you just scroll down. You'll find a variety. Monday to Friday, there's going to be new predictions available on a daily basis. I'm irregular with time, but you're going to find different fights available. So if you want to participate, I mean, you see this one has 206 votes. How does the fight end? KO or submission? We see it here as well. So I mean, you can always participate in here. But and the nice thing about you predicting fights is that they form part of the channel. As you can see here, these predictions are out for UFC Fight Night. Um, so as you can see, these are the subscribers picks, these are the channel's picks. So these are the subscribers picks, and these are my picks. So your opinion is not just going to fade, it's going to form part of the video. So if you want to be part of the prediction process, you can go to the community section of the channel, and other predictions such as fight IQ, how the fight ends, upsets predictions are going to be in the video section. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get to the prediction results, or actually the recap of the fights on this particular card. Starting with Loma Lookboonmee versus Alexia Thainara. In all honesty, I feel like Alexia Thainara needs a lot more work. My subscribers and I went with Alexia Thainara, but I wasn't too impressed. I felt like there were a lot of holes in her game. Whereas I do feel like Loma Lookboonmee, if she can work on her defensive wrestling, I think she's going to have a lot of success in the UFC. So I don't feel like she was fraud checked. Despite the fact that she lost, I think she performed exceptionally well. Obviously, these particular numbers do not reflect that, especially because when we look at significant strikes, I mean, actually, they do reflect that. Even though Alexia Thainara landed 110 significant strikes, total strikes, when we come to significant strikes, it's only 44 to 30. So she landed about 14 more significant strikes than Loma Lookboonmee. She definitely won the fight, but that's why I was like, I'm not as impressed, because I felt like there are a lot of holes. But I mean, she's still new. I think this is her second fight in the UFC, so hopefully she continues to improve. So yeah, my subscribers and I got this one right. On to the next one. Man, Brandon Perisic. What's his name? Brandon Perisic. I'm going to go with that. He looked sensational. Actually, both of them. I feel like Elisha Ellison should not be cut. I think his performance was actually pretty decent. He was pretty fast for a heavyweight. I think he can beat a lot of heavyweights with that kind of speed. I think he just needs to get a little bit more experience. Heavyweight needs talent. Hopefully the UFC keeps him. Brandon Perisic, on the other hand, I think he has title championship possibilities or contender written all over him, purely because it's heavyweight. Heavyweight does not have any technique. I saw speed in Perisic. I saw technique in Perisic, combined with the fact that he trains from the same gym as Israel Adesanya. Can you imagine Israel Adesanya having, or rather, a heavyweight having Israel Adesanya striking abilities? That would be insane. But I saw that Elisha Ellison was having a bit of success. not success, but it felt like if it was a more talented grappler like Gelson Almeida or Walter Walker, I think Brandon Perisic would have lost that fight. So as long as he continues to work on his takedown defense, but I know that the Australian guys are working with Paul Craig, or Craig Jones, I mean, Craig Jones. So hopefully that actually works for him, because I think heavyweights needs a lot of prospects, especially because Tom Aspinall is such a really talented fighter. I would love to see a match with Perisic, but I would assume Tom Aspinall is probably going to wrestle him, just to avoid any sort of danger. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, my subscribers and I got this one right. We both went with Perisic. On to the next one. He deserves the performance bonus, by the way. On to the next one. Michelle Montagu versus Luana Carolina. This is the first fight that my subscribers got wrong. They went with Luana Carolina. I don't blame them. Luana Carolina was performing pretty well on the feet. Just that her takedown, her defensive wrestling is pretty horrible. On the other hand, Michelle Montagu is horrible on the feet, and even on the ground, she's not that special. She just found that Luana is not that good on the ground. But she did what she needed to do, and it was her debut fight, so maybe I'm being too hard on her. She will continue to improve, hopefully. But she did really well for a debutante, especially because Luana Carolina has had a lot of fights in the UFC. Even though she hasn't been fighting elite level competition, I think she's had a lot of decent fights in the UFC. So yeah, shout out to Michelle. I went with Michelle. I got this one right. My subscribers got it wrong. Hard luck to them. Anyway, nothing much to say. I think she needs a lot of improvement. I don't think she beats anyone in the top 15. Anyway, on to the next one. Colby Thickness versus Josias Musasa. My subscribers and I were having a bit of a debate on the live stream as to the perfect gym that would suit the Josias Musasa. I was of the view that Team Alpha Male has the ability to take strikers and actually improve their defensive wrestling. When you look at people like Vyacheslav Boshev and a couple of other Asian fighters, isn't Song Yadong training from there? But apart from Song Yadong, I feel like I've seen a couple of strikers who've went there and have had their defensive wrestling improved. I think Josias Musasa, both my subscribers and I agree that Musasa has a massively bright future in the bantamweight division. He just needs to work on his defensive wrestling, because on the feed, not only did he have amazing cardio, but he was still very strong and technical. Maybe technical is a bit of a strong word, but he was still very, very good. If he had enough defensive wrestling, I think he would have won that fight. Probably might have even finished it. My subscribers and I went with Colby Thickness, but I genuinely see potential in Josias Musasa. My subscribers felt like American Top Team would be a better solution for him, but I genuinely disagree, largely because they failed to do that with Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier lost via submission to Habib Nurmagomedov, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, and you can argue and say, well, those are some of the greatest champions in history, and which you would be right, but Benoit St. Denis also had success. If Benoit St. Denis did not gas out against Dustin Poirier, he would have won. So that's honestly a bad sign for me. And I know Dustin Poirier's his performance against Islam Makhachev was honestly impressive, but man, it just feels like it was camp specific, it was motivation driven. He knew it was his last opportunity. It wasn't necessarily because of an advanced skill. Maybe it was all those years culminating in that particular performance. But I feel like American Top Team is not particularly good at taking strikers and making them good defensively. So I disagree with my subscribers on that one. But in any case, my subscribers also went with Colby Thickness. We got this one right. I think Josias Musasa probably has a better shot at becoming a contender than Colby Thickness. Thickness didn't look good in that particular fight. He might have won, but I saw so many holes. His striking is not that great. His wrestling is a bit sloppy. But I mean, there's room for improvement. But I feel like if Musasa finds a way to actually work on his defensive wrestling, he's going to have a lot more success. Anyway, on to the next one. Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. I'm not gonna lie to you, my subscribers were distracting me during my live stream, so I couldn't even pay enough attention to this particular fight. I just saw Mullarkey getting touched up there and having a bit more success in the striking. He almost lost the third round. He mixed in the wrestling. There was nothing special to speak about. I don't feel like Jamie Mullarkey is ever going to be ranked in the lightweight division, but never say never. The most important thing is my subscribers and I got this pick correct. So yeah, I mean, Bedoya, there's nothing really much to say about Bedoya. I mean, it is what it is. On to the next one. Cam Roston versus Andre Petroski. I'm surprised that Cam Roston did not get a performance of the night bonus or something. I think it's not fair, but it is what it is. This is this is another fight that my subscribers and I got wrong. I think this was my first fight that I got wrong. I felt like Andre Petroski would have the experience advantage. I was wrong. Andre Petroski is horrible. I also think he's pretty short and massive for middleweight. He needs to cut down to welterweight. I don't know what he's doing at middleweight. Yeah, he's terrible. Like, there's honestly nothing much to add. Cam Roston, I'd like to see more. I mean, he just finished Andre Petroski. And I know I picked Andre Petroski, but that really doesn't mean much to me that you beat Andre Petroski. I'd like to see him against someone who actually has some level of talent. I'm sorry. That was mean. But, I mean, it's honest and true. So, yeah. My subscribers and I got this one wrong. Shout out. That was an incredible performance for Roston. If he continues to improve, I think he's going to be a really, really serious problem in the middleweight division. But, I mean, as long as the champion is Hamza, a lot of people are going to never be a champion. On to the next one. Navajo Sterling versus Rodolfo Bellato. I honestly don't understand how Navajo Sterling got to a decision with Bellato. But yeah, I mean, he did pretty decently. I mean, in the first round, he landed 37 significant strikes to Rodolfo's 15 strikes. The second round, he landed 16 over 6 for Rodolfo. And in the third round, it was a little bit more competitive, 28 to 22. I don't know, man. This guy looks like Israel Adesanya, but his performances are anything but. Still won. My subscribers and I got this one correct, so that's all I care about. I don't know what this future is in the light heavyweight division, though. But maybe it's because they're thinking Carlos Ulberg will probably retire or move to heavyweight if he gets the championship. I guess we'll see as time progresses, but Sterling is not necessarily as good as I thought he would be. But yeah, still undefeated. That's what's important. On to the next one. Tom Nolan. I don't feel like Tom Nolan should have gotten a performance bonus. My subscribers got this one wrong. They went with Charlie Campbell. I went with Tom Nolan. But I still think Tom Nolan sucks, to be honest. Despite the fact that he got the finish and everything. I think he was losing that fight up until Charlie Campbell got finished, I guess. Yeah, I still don't think, but maybe Tom Nolan can improve, right? I guess we'll see. But at this point, despite the fact that I picked him, I genuinely don't think he's going to be a contender. Maybe he might crack the top 15 somehow, but I don't see him even getting close to the top 5. But we'll see. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Anyway, I got this one right. I went with Tom Nolan. My subscribers went with Charlie Campbell. On to the next one. Neil Magny versus the disappointed Jake Matthews. I got worried, and even my subscribers pointed it out during the live stream, that the fight was too competitive from the first round. Right? Let's actually check round by round how many each of them landed. Okay, it looked a lot closer. I mean, in the first round, Jake Matthews. Yeah, actually, this is what I'm talking about. Neil Magny landed 18 more significant strikes than Jake Matthews in the first round. This is what was worrying to us. Like, why is it so competitive? Second round, 7-7. Yes, I was correct. So this was the alarming part. Why is it so competitive? And then Neil Magny did Neil Magny things and got the submission. So shout out to him, man. That was honestly very impressive. I didn't think he had it in him. I felt like he was able to get a fluke against what's his name? Kind of who's the last opponent he was fighting. The nice thing about breaking down fights like this or recapping fights like this is that yes, he was fighting Dos Santos. Um, Elizao Dos Santos. Yeah, I thought it was a fluky win, but I mean he proved me wrong, and he beat Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews is such a disappointment. How do you go from having such a competitive fight with Michael Morales um, to actually losing to Neil Magny, who's damn near 40 at this point? I mean, he just finished and submitted, what do you call him? Cheating Jokwani. Like, how do you then go from that, beat Francisco Prado via unanimous decision? Like, how do you then lose? Man, this guy was on a streak, dude. Like, since he lost to Michael Morales, I was like, oh, God. This guy, this guy is actually on a tear and is coming for that rematch. And he went through Phil Rowe. He went through Francisco Prado. He went to Chidin Jokwani. And we're like, okay, we might have a contender on our hands. And then Neil Magny does Neil Magny things and just derails everything. It's honestly disappointing to see this kind of result because, I mean, what's the future of the UFC if prospects are losing to basically 40-year-old veterans? You know, it honestly sucks. Jake Matthews sucks, but it's not as terrible. I think losing to Neil Magny is more respectable than losing to Daniel Rodriguez. So, you know, at this point, Kevin Holland and Jake Matthews should fight each other. Anyway, on to the next one. My subscribers actually got this one right. They picked the Neil Magny. I went with Jake Matthews. This was the second fight I got wrong, which sucks. In any case, on to the next one. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavares. It's kind of sad that the Jack Jenkins made it competitive with Ramon Tavares because I genuinely felt, for me personally, I feel like if I'm going to see you as a future title contender, a lot of these guys at the bottom, you need to dominate them or finish them. So the fact that he's having life and death matches with Ramon Tavares is honestly pretty sad. But yeah, it is what it is. As long as I got this pick correct, my subscribers and I went with Jack Jenkins. A pretty sad situation for Jenkins, to be honest. I'm realizing he's not going to be a champion. In any case, my subscribers and I got this one correct. On to the next one. Performance of the night. My subscribers and I got this one correct. We went with Jimmy Crude. Ivan Erslan is pretty terrible, man. The decisions that he was making, there were moments where even Jimmy Crude was not even using technique. It was just common sense. Like, I saw a point where Jimmy Crude was pushing off the canvas of the octagon and got a top position over that when Ivan Erslan had the top position. He was reversed purely from a hand being pushed on the canvas. I think Erslan is pretty terrible. I think he's not supposed to be in the UFC. And I think either they are going to cut him here or in his next fight is going to lose and get cut. Jimmy Crude, I think the time for him, like the time off, worked pretty well for him because he was pretty terrible before he left, and he's coming back and he's on a streak. Let me actually see how many who he's beaten so far and how many he's won. I mean, he's on a 2-fight win streak, which is kind of decent, to be honest. Marcin Prachnio and Ivan Erslan, I mean, those are not the best wins, but I mean, at least it's a streak nonetheless. So yeah, my subscribers and I got this one correct. It's kind of sad that this was the co-main event, but it is what it is. The main event, the third fight that I got wrong, and the fourth fight that my subscribers got wrong. Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. I genuinely felt like Dominick Reyes would have more power. Plus, he has higher finishing ability. He's more well-rounded, more experienced. But man, the fight when it started, Ulberg looked so much faster. Ulberg doesn't normally finish fights, but he was able to finish Reyes in spectacular fashion. And I think he deserves the performance bonus. The person who I don't feel like deserves it is, okay, let me not say that, he got a pretty good finish. I wanted to say Tom Nolan, but I would have liked it to be given to Rostin, to be honest. So, shout out to Ulberg, man. That was an incredible performance. I don't know how the fight between Magomed Ankalaev versus Carlos Ulberg is going to go, because both of them are pretty good defensively. But Ankalaev is a little bit more well-rounded than Ulberg. I could see him mixing in the takedowns in order to create openings for striking. So even though I do feel like Ulberg is really, really, really good, I think Magomed Ankalaev will win. This is largely because I feel like Alex Pereira is not gonna win this fight. I'm so tired. I'm doing this recap for the second time right now, so I'll do a separate prediction video. I enjoyed breaking down, or rather recapping this fight like this, so I might potentially start doing even breakdowns like this, so that you guys can see what I'm talking about, as opposed to listening and seeing my face all this time. That's why I made it so small, so that you can focus on what's important. So my subscribers got 9 fights correct and 4 wrong. I got 10 fights correct and 3 wrong. Let me actually count how many I got right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I was right. And my subscribers got, no, not 10. Wait, what happened? Not 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 6. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I got 9, not actually 10. How many fights were there on this particular card? Let me actually double check. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, there were 12 fights on the card. Yeah, I was right. I was like, oh, okay. So I got 9 out of 12, and my subscribers got 8 out of 12. Let me actually double check if they got 8. So my subscribers got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, my subscribers got 8 out of 12. I got 9 out of 12. I got 3 wrong. My subscribers got 4 wrong. Not too bad. Would have liked to do a lot better. So I think I'm going to do breakdowns like this. I enjoy doing it like this. It's more efficient. It's better when I check their history, who they fought, and all these type of things. You don't have to just listen to me. I can actually just show you. I think it's a lot more efficient like this. So I think my breakdowns are going to start coming out like this. I also have a video of the, what do you call it, champions who I think are going to lose their belts this year and next year, so look out for that. I'm interested to see how this video is going to do on the channel, but I think I'm going to continue making videos like this, and I'll see. I think maybe live streams will have to be, plus I'm struggling with the microphone because I'm using a new computer, so maybe that's actually a bit better, because my microphone seems to work perfectly if I'm not streaming. When I'm streaming, it just does crazy things. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I love and appreciate all of you. I'm looking forward to this new era of how I'm doing things right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Until then, love and appreciate all of you. Deuces.